welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 27th May 2020. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Palace Marketing, rehumanizing your marketing experience.
Wow, new branding.
We are back!
Hello!
I bet you miss Jake quite a bit, right?
Yo, miss my face?
Anyway, so JK, let's take a moment to recap our MCO experience. How has
Okay.
yours been?
Very noisy with dogs and humans and
Staying at home is not exactly a very fun thing.
Okay lah. I mean, still a lot of things to do, but then it's just you don't have a time on your own. You don't have personal time.
Yeah, you don't have personal time. Yeah, you don't have a lot of personal space as well to be quiet and do your work, right?
Yes, virtually and reality.
Yeah. On my side, I've been very, very busy. There has been an significant increase in the amount of work.
Okay.
Because a lot of businesses have been they're quite panicking, kind of in a panic mode.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what to do. They want to go online. They want to do something about their business.
Correct.
Initially, it was like very short term, like, oh, you know what, we're just going to write it out. But then you can't do that anymore.
Yeah,
you have to push forward.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's been quite busy, and possibly going to expand the company a bit, just to be able to cater. Hopefully this can last long, because if not, then it'll just be a short-term thing. Then you don't know what to do.
I think once the behavior sets in, right, everyone is just gonna go with this new norm already.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. Right.
Anyway, back to our headlines. Facebook introduces shops to platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter adds reply controls. Work remotely forever, says Twitter and Facebook. Twitter fleets expand to Italy. Facebook NP finally releases a cool app.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the stories. Facebook introduces shops to platforms. The pandemic is causing consumers to use and buy online more than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
We've been seeing it. We've also been doing it as well.
Yep. Stress buying.
Yeah, stress buying. I've been spending too much time on Lazada these days.
Stress clicking.
Yeah. And Facebook knows this, and they want to take advantage of this. The company will be rolling out shops to Facebook and Instagram soon. This will allow anyone to browse and buy products directly from Facebook pages and Instagram profiles.
Okay.
So previously, Facebook has Marketplace,
Mm-hmm.
and you can buy stuff from Marketplace. But on Instagram, you've only been able to see products.
Correct.
And they always be able to link to your website when you
Mhm.
want to buy something. But they're bringing this to Instagram as well.
Okay. All right.
Facebook actually actually the reason why they're doing this is because the global economic fallouts caused by COVID are beginning to close down a lot of small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the people who Facebook depends for profits.
Correct. Yes.
I reported on the quarter one profits for these top 3 social media platforms,
Mm-hmm.
and all 3 of them say that they're expecting advertisement spending to drop quite significantly in quarter 2 onwards, because businesses can no longer be able to run ads, and because a lot of them will close down as well. So it is in Facebook's best interest, to continue to support them so they can continue to profit from them.
Yep. Correct. Like support local tags and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
a
what
lot of
they're
these
trying
kind
to
of things
do.
has been going on. And Facebook will actually charge operators a small transaction fee, but expect most profits to come from ads.
Mm-hmm.
So they provide the service, the platform, and the advertisement will be the one where they will make the money from.
Correct.
Once Libra currency is introduced, the company can potentially also benefit from holding money as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very good thing.
All right.
Facebook Shop is already available as an extension of Marketplace, and Instagram Shop is coming in a few months' time.
Okay. Not for Asian region, right? ASEAN region.
Also for ASEAN region as well. Facebook Marketplace has been here for a long time already, but it has been it's a very
rubbishy.
very trashy place. It's full of, and I mean, I wouldn't trust buying stuff from there. So possibly they need to get the big brands to actually use Facebook Marketplace or Facebook Shop.
Clean things up.
Clean things up, make it look nicer a bit, give it a good rebrand.
But that's the thing though, it's like asking, Zhengzhong real brand Adidas to, sell at a bazaar. It just doesn't.
Yeah,
It doesn't
kind of spoils
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, there's a lot of work for them to
So
be able to convince everyone to
I
use
don't
it.
know, man. Imagine go bazaar and then you see a real life, Adidas shop. Then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm
No,
confused with your brand
no.
imaging
Imagine,
now.
imagine you go to Pasar Malam, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Adidas has a shop there,
yeah. And
and
then
then
the
next to
fake one
Adidas
is.
you got the big ones.
Then you're like, I'm literally confused.
Yeah. No, that's well, that is a problem for Facebook to figure out.
Yeah, good luck, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Twitter adds reply controls. Twitter is rolling out a nice feature that's let us choose who can reply to our tweets. Facebook introduced a similar feature last time where we can choose who can see our post. This is slightly different because everyone can still see the tweet and reply, but only the types of people who can allowed can reply. The three options are everyone, people you all follow, and people you mention. While others people can still see the conversation, they cannot reply to it if they don't fall into any of these two categories. Two or three?
Yeah.
Three, right?
The two, no, the second and third.
Okay,
Because if it's everyone, then it's everyone,
okay,
right?
got it.
So Twitter has always had this problem where people are afraid of using it because some strangers will come in and troll them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just a matter of disagreement and constructive criticism, but they really go all out to insult and troll and talk bad about them and spawn hate speech and stuff like that, which is
Oh dear.
not nice, and it destroys everything beautiful about social media. Social media used to be a place where people can just go and bounce ideas off each other,
I
but
guess when you're in front of a screen, you're sort of protected,
with a sense of anonymity and people don't know who
and the
you
freedom
are.
of speech, absolute freedom.
Yeah, it's like how this is what I have been observing, right? When people are driving with masks
Mm-hmm.
in while driving and wearing the mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of drive a little crazier because they have the perception where people cannot see who they are,
Yep.
and they are allowed to be themselves, their true selves, which is the rude self.
The evil side.
The evil side will come out. I experienced this because I still I used to drive around quite a bit to buy groceries, even during MCO,
Mm-hmm.
short distances. And during those times, there are few cars, right? But those cars who are driving, especially the ones where people wear masks,
Mm-hmm.
they are quite crazy,
Yeah.
bad drivers.
I think the more we cover up our like true self, the less we get morally.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
This is it's like playing Dota in front of the screen. You like bobo putang inamo everything, but then in the actual competition in life, right? You actually just quiet.
Very very
Like
proper,
professional.
very nice. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's the ethic of digital ethic.
Yeah. It's not good.
So yeah.
Yeah, but in any case, what Twitter is doing is it's allowing us to, well, people still can see your tweets,
Mhm.
but you can choose who can reply to your tweets to clean up the replies a little bit.
Correct.
You can choose for people who you follow and also people who you mention
mention.
only.
So meaning you say you sort of have to make sure this SOP, this digital SOP is properly defined, like this group of category of friends is belong to what.
Yes. So it's quite straightforward, not as complicated as Facebook. You know how Facebook used to have like different category of friends,
Yeah,
public
correct.
friends only, closed groups or whatever it is, and that was just a flop from the very get-go. Too hard to use. But this one is quite straightforward. Like you have people who you follow. Like it's not people who follow you, but people who you follow.
correct.
So you only follow people who you are interested in, right? And people who you mention. If you want to have a conversation that only involves these few people, you just tag them, and then they can
Reply.
contribute to it, but no one else can contribute to it, although they can read it. But then it will still keep that social part where people can see,
Correct. Yeah.
which in a way is quite, it's true. It works,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, we'll see how you put it
Yeah,
off.
we'll see how they pull it off.
All right. Next.
Work remotely forever, says Twitter and Facebook. If there's one thing that COVID has taught us, is that we don't really need to meet all the time in order to get work done. In fact, some of us are a lot more productive working remotely. Twitter and Facebook are among top tech leaders who announced recently that their employees can work remotely forever. This applies even for after the world receives a vaccine cure for COVID-19. Okay, as far as we know, this is what they mean by forever. Because as far as the English dictionary defines forever, it means that forever lah. For as long as the companies exist, people can work remotely all the
Okay.
time. But maybe after the world receives a vaccine or cure and the world goes back to the old normal, they might suddenly decide, oh, you know what? I don't think we can do that. Let's go back
Let's come
to yeah,
back.
let's come back to non-forever.
Not forever.
In the meantime, Google and Microsoft did not commit to say that they are allowing uh, remote work forever, which makes sense because Google specifically invested so much on keeping their workers on premise for as long as possible. It's part of their job. It's like they provide free food, they provide a place for you to sleep,
A
they
gaming
provide
machine,
gaming,
game
game
rooms.
rooms and everything. You think it's for you to feel good? No, it's for you to stay in the office so that you're always
Feel good to stay in the
available for work.
office.
Yeah, so that you're always available for work. It's
Aiyo.
not employee benefit, it's employer benefit to make it seem as if it's employee benefit.
Yep, yep.
Um, it doesn't make sense for them to allow these companies, these employees to work from home. Maybe working from home can work, like maybe they can set it up like 2 days in a week. They have the
A
ability
split
to do
team.
that. Yeah, but not forever.
Yeah, I think forever it's not a very good way to give the what if you really lost the social touch
Yes,
and you
yes,
can't really get there's a lot of element that you really need the team to be exist like humanly close
yes,
with each
yeah.
other.
Well, we are an organization who practice working remotely as well.
Yep,
We
yep.
have remote workers, we have on-site workers, and we also know the difference between working remotely and on-site.
Yeah,
The relationship we build with each other is different.
correct. Yes.
Although we have like company dinners quite frequently, we are not as close to people who are freelancers or people who work remotely
Correct.
full time
Yep.
as compared to people who are on site.
I agree. I mean, the first stage you gotta build a relationship first. Then work remotely comes second.
Yes.
You can't just start remotely. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's like having marriage remotely. You can't just
Well,
you can't just do that. You need to
I,
meet first.
I think no, you just open up a can of worms with marriage remotely. Imagine if you can, like how you used to play RO and we used to
yeah, you marry this fella and then when you
marry
meet
someone and you are then they will go beyond just using the perks of being married to actually go pak tor sometimes, sit behind the lake, sit beside the lake and chit chat, and the whole time they never met each other before.
Correct, yes.
Well, there is a possibility that in the future this would happen. We don't know.
But it's just okay, I don't know lah. It's just human relationship lah.
Yeah, but I agree with you. We need to see people in order to build a relationship with them.
Yes. Alright. Next up, Twitter fleets expands to Italy. Twitter launched its version of stories, which they call fleets, in Brazil last March. It is expanding to Italy now. Although exactly similar to Snaps and Instagram stories, Twitter users seem to use them primarily to share ephemeral tweets instead. Yes, just words. Non-permanent social media is taking over as users worry about chasing after unhealthy metrics and fear of trolling. Fleets and stories let users share their thoughts without fear of judgment or the need for protection.
Perfect.
Which is true. Oh, sorry, perfection. Yeah, it's just quite true.
Changing it to protection.
Sorry. Oopsie.
But it's true because it's like being on social media now is so difficult. Like you post something, you don't get enough likes, you feel insecure, and you post something if it's not perfect, you don't feel insecure, and you want it to be perfect, you want it to be the most beautiful. But social media never started off like that. It has always been just a place for people to hang out, right? Like
Yes.
just hang out and be
Virtually.
themselves and don't have to be perfect all the time. I guess over the years, social media became a strive for perfection,
Yes.
and now with stories and fleets, they can be themselves again.
Also because the nature of how this socializing works in digitally, because everything that you say or take or mention, it's archived history snapshot.
Yeah, actually that's true as well.
You can't afford to have all this misleading information.
Actually, that's true as well.
So yeah, like for me, just like if I would talk about what they say, protection, right?
Yeah.
We just easily bypass.
Yeah,
But here it's recorded, so yeah.
It's recorded. You can keep rewinding and rereading, re-listening again. Protection.
So yeah, I guess that's the nature of digital and non-digital socializing.
But in any case, stories and feeds would most probably be archived as well. But what matters is that your followers and your audience don't get to see it forever. It disappears after a while. And if they don't see it today, then tomorrow it's gone, right? Then this kind of temporariness is something that we want on social media.
True, yes. But even if it's just 3 seconds, one snapshot could kill your life, man.
That is true. We can always screenshot a thing. Yeah, at the end of the day, we just have to be careful when we're online, like, you know.
Yes.
There is nothing is temporary online.
That is why.
Moving on, Facebook NPE finally releases a cool app. Okay, Facebook NPE has been releasing so many apps. Facebook NPE is actually the experimental division of Facebook that releases apps that sometimes don't make sense, and just to test it out and kill it right after. So now they released one which I find quite interesting. It's called Catch Up, and it's a group voice call app that also allow users to join ongoing group calls. So let's be honest, half the time when we use video calls, we don't turn on the video. We use video calls for the audio, right? Sometimes we do screen share, sometimes we don't. But if we were to do one-to-one calls, only 2 people can communicate at a time. So we do multiple calls, and we don't have one-to-many audio calls. One-to-many has to be video calls.
Yeah, correct.
And it's okay for us because if we are on Wi-Fi or our mobile data is fast and that we have a lot of bandwidth or we have a lot of data to use, it's fine. But for a lot of parts of the world, right, it's a bit difficult. They have limited amount of data and they will prefer to use audio than video.
Yes, correct.
And this is where Catch-Up fits very nicely. It is audio only and it's focused on that one thing. So at the end of the day, all we need to do is be able to talk to each other. We can communicate like how we communicate in phone, but in a group. And I don't know about you, but I do hope that NPE will release this feature to Facebook's suite of chat apps very soon. Make it official. I don't think they need to test it. This is something that I think they should not test and just
release it.
Just release it.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because it's audio. Everyone is used to audio
Exactly.
since even before digital era. So everyone kind of knows how to use it really.
Yeah, and you think about it, like sometimes we have chat rooms, right, where people keep sending audio messages back and forth in the chat room.
And you press and play.
Yeah,
and then
press and click, and then you have to listen to it. But how nice would it be if everybody be walking around with their maybe headsets or whatever, right? And they be chatting with their friends, group of friends. They don't. Their phone can be in their pocket. They can be walking around. They don't need to look at their friends. They just need to chat.
Yeah, just don't shout.
Just don't. Yeah, just
don't shout.
Just don't shout. They can hear you.
Yes. Or get a better mic.
Yeah, get a better mic. Oops.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, release it.
Yeah, you have Facebook. You have our green light to release it straight away into Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Don't have to test anymore. Save your NPE
What's there
money.
to test?
What's there to test? This one works. Right, Social Media Weekly podcast available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. Stitcher, if you are listening to us, which I don't think you are, but if you are, I don't know why we are still not on Stitcher yet, but can we get on Stitcher, please?
Hi, Stitcher.
Hi, Stitcher.
Hashtag Stitcher.
Right, so that's all for Social Media Weekly this week, episode 27th May 2020. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
Au revoir.
Sayonara.